Okay, I'm seeing we have quite a people who have joined right now, so I think we can begin now. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to our Family and Friends update, the first in 2026. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I hope everyone had the chance to rest during the holidays and that we are all staying warm. Despite the sun being out there, it must be deceivingly cold. So I hope we are all staying warm. And as we begin a new year, we are excited to keep moving forward, exploring new opportunities, celebrating progress, and strengthening our communities where everyone belongs and is valued. My name is Petronila Ndebele. I'm the Director of Strategic Communications and Stakeholder Relations and will be facilitating today's program. Today we want to honor, we want to honor the indigenous peoples who have stewarded this land for generations. And in the spirit of reconciliation and respect, I would like to start by giving the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaty is signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands. We also acknowledge that we are all treaty peoples, including those who came here as settlers, as migrants, either in this generation or in generations past, and those of us who came here involuntarily, particularly as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. Today, we pay tribute to the ancestors of those of African and indigenous origin and descent. Before we begin, there are a few housekeeping items to address. Please feel free to use the chat function, share your thoughts, ask any questions, make a comment. Would like to keep the conversation going. And if you're experiencing any technical issues, kindly let Atam know. And I'm sure Atam has already put his details in the chat. And just a special reminder to our presenters today that if you'd like to move on to the next slide, kindly ask me now to do so. On your screen is our agenda for today. We have a lot of important updates. We have launch of our family experience saving. And in our Community Unplugged chat, we have Janina Coulthard, the chair of Etobicoke York Community Council. We are glad to have you with us today, and we are looking forward to that segment. And now for our first update, we move on to the family experience survey. We would like to share an opportunity to gather insights from families as we continue to put the people we support first. And kindly note that in the coming weeks, we will be launching our family experience survey. This is our annual survey, and it's an important opportunity for us so that we can hear directly from you, from our families, our friends, support networks about experiences you have with Community Living Toronto. Your insights help us to understand what we are doing well and where we need to continue growing. At the heart of this survey is our commitment to putting the people we support first, and we value your perspective on how we are living out our mission and advancing our strategic goals. We are especially interested in learning about your expectations and experiences related to the quality of our supports and services, how we communicate with families, and how we involve you in meaningful ways. Our efforts around diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. This is our third year conducting the survey, which means we'll be able to see some trends over time, where improvements have been made, and where further work is needed. We'll also be able to assess whether the quality improvements that we implemented last year and the feedback that you gave us made a positive difference in your experience with us. So we'll really look forward to your participation on that. To ensure your responses remain anonymous and that you feel comfortable sharing them openly, we have once again partnered with Leger, an independent research firm. They will be conducting the survey either by phone or online, and this survey takes approximately about 10 minutes to complete. In the next couple of weeks, families of people supported in supported living, specialized services, community participation supports will receive an email about the survey. This message will include information on how you can participate, how to opt out if you prefer, and how to schedule a phone interview if that's your preference. We strongly encourage you to take part whether you want to do so online or by phone, because your feedback shapes how we improve our efforts, and we really appreciate your perspectives. If you do not hear from Leger in the next couple of weeks, or if you have any questions about the survey, please contact CLTO survey at cltoronto.ca, and the details are on the screen, and we'll ensure you have an opportunity to participate. We look forward to sharing the survey results, including comparisons to last year, at our next Family and Friends update. On that note, of us continuing to focus on families and their experiences, it is now my pleasure to welcome Diana Strazella, Senior Director, Specialized Services, for an important update on specialized resource homes. Diana, over to you.
Thanks, Patty. And I'm just going to apologize in advance. I'm on the tail end, hopefully, of a pretty nasty cold. So if my voice cracks, I am apologizing in advance. So I'm here today to provide a brief update on our Children's Specialized Resource. You sound like Grover. Thanks, Ange. On our Children's Specialized Resource Homes. And I'll jump right into it. Community Living Toronto has made the very difficult decision to close both of its children's specialized resource homes at Morningside and South Station by the end of March 2026. For those who aren't aware of the service, these homes have provided treatment support for children and youth with the autism spectrum disorder and complex needs since 2013. One of the main drivers surrounding our decision to close the programs is that we noticed a real trend in the last year and a half. We weren't able to fill our vacancies as quickly as we had in the past. We weren't seeing the referrals that typically were coming in. And at the same time, we had per diem rates that weren't sufficient enough for the program model, which were causing long-term sustainability challenges. So we underwent a review of all of these specific areas and made the decision to close. Next slide, please. In the background of all of this, middle of last year, the ministry released a policy update entitled Complex Special Needs Programs Pathway Referral Requirements. It was released, I think the dates there's June 2025, but it was implemented or went into full implementation at the end of last year. The policy update introduces the Complex Special Needs Program pathway and specifically identifying to prioritize home and community-based supports for families. So the focus of this policy was really shifting gears on how services have traditionally been provided for complex special needs children. And this policy emphasizes maintaining family stability and reducing reliance on long-term supported living placements for children with complex needs. A big part of this, and I see a question in the chat and I'll just answer it off the bat. Yes, Ennerdale Respite House is staying open. None of our children's respite programs are impacted by this change. So Ennerdale, McMillan, Triad, the only programs that are impacted by this closure are Morningside and South Station. In terms of the funded service domains that this policy really wants to focus on, is looking at new and innovative respite models for supporting individuals, complex special needs children and their families, in-home daily living support. So this really focuses on providing supports to children in the family home. So that could be intervention support, such as clinical supports, a broad spectrum of clinical supports like behavioral support, speech and language, etc., and specialized assessments like diagnostics. Organizational implications. So this policy really encouraged organizations to shift from supported living type services for complex special needs children to more community-based solutions to improve inclusion and sustainability. So as a part of our review, while we were going through that, we were also becoming familiar with this policy and determining the best path forward to align to the new ministry policy while continuing our intention to provide supports to individuals and children with complex special needs. Next slide. While we have made the decision to close this program, one of the things that we have started in the background is piloting a brand new therapeutic respite program. So currently this therapeutic respite program is being implemented out of our Triad Respite Children's location. It's in collaboration with the Special Needs Advisory Group, which is SNAG, and it's funded to support 8 children and youth with complex needs using individualized therapeutic plans and intensive family involvement over a 4 to 6 week period. So essentially what this looks like is children will come to us for a 4 to 6 week period. They'll stay with us from Monday to Friday. They'll go to school during the day and they will go home to their family every weekend. Families are very actively involved throughout this process. So at the outset, our interdisciplinary team will sit with the family and identify goals that they would like to work on throughout this 4 to 6 week period. And that could be things like toileting, communication, daily living skills, schedules, things like that. And they're all led and identified by the family. And then our interdisciplinary team will develop the program and we'll begin implementing them within the respite location. And then there will be a comprehensive training parent teaching component that happens with the families either on site at our location or in the family home. And families will have the opportunity to implement some of those strategies at the home on weekends while providing a continuous feedback loop to the staff to let us know how it's going at home, some of the challenges they're facing, and so that we can continue to provide support there. So the key features of the program, as I mentioned, individualized therapeutic care plans developed in partnership with the family, active family involvement throughout the entire 4 to 6 week process, parent teaching components, intensive one-to-one supports, both in terms of staffing and interdisciplinary teams. So we have a registered behavior analyst attached to the program and other services as well. And we collaborate with school and other support networks most connected to the person supported to really try and achieve those goals that have been identified within that 4 to 6 week period. Next slide, please. So in the backdrop of the policy changes, as well as our want to develop a program that are meeting the needs of family, the primary goal is preventing out-of-home placements by stabilizing children in their family home and community by addressing key areas of family stress and burnout. So we are taking a number of different measures from family in terms of providing them the opportunity to provide feedback on their experience, but also utilizing different stress and burnout measures and scales at the outset of the experience, the 4 to 6 weeks experience, and then implementing those same measures at the end. And then those will be compiled at the end of our pilot when all 8 families have gone through. So the stress and burnout measures remain anonymous, so that families really feel like they can go through those measures with integrity without worrying about anybody judging or those types of things. And then we'll use that data to help us inform how our program is doing or if it's achieving the goals that we had intended. Our goal is to transition the services being provided at Morningside and South Station into this enhanced respite model for children with complex needs and their families. And our emphasis will be on evaluating outcomes of this pilot in collaboration with SNAG and planning long-term sustainable service delivery aligned with the sector changes, the sector policies, and of course the needs of the children and families that we support. Next slide. In relation to our therapeutic respite model, I did just want to share some of the initial feedback that we've received from families. So 4 families have gone through this pilot. A total of 8 will go through by the end. Here's just some of the feedback that we've received, and there's a number of other measures as well. I didn't include them all, but I just screen grabbed a few of them. So I learned new strategies or information during the parent teaching sessions, 4.75 star rating. The strategies covered during parent teaching made a positive difference at home, which is really what we're trying to achieve. So a 4.5 rating. Next slide, please. I would recommend this program to other families, has received a 5-star from all 4 families, and the program provided me with a meaningful break, which at its core, respite is truly intended to provide breaks for families. And then we're just adding this enhanced component of it. So making sure that parents, even though there is a parent teaching component, we don't want to overburden, we don't want to overstress the parents. This is still meant to be a break as well. And that's the feedback that we've received thus far. The program provided me with a meaningful break, 5-star across the board from all 4 families that have gone through the pilot. Next slide. So in terms of our next steps, we're going to continue to work with partners and families to ensure a supported transition of all children out of Morningside and South Station. We're going to continue to monitor, report on the data from our pilot. We will work with the Special Needs Advisory Group to determine a funding model for 2026, 2027 of this pilot, which they have communicated to us that there is an intention to provide support to an additional 8 families in 2026, 2027, which is very exciting. And then we'll also be looking to develop funding models for program implementation at Morningside and South Station that will align with the new CSN pathway for complex special need children. And we'll continue that work into the early half of this year. And that's my update, Petronilla.
Thank you so much, Deanna, and for sharing that feedback from families, very positive feedback and exciting times ahead. We appreciate what you and your team are doing to meet the needs of our children with complex needs. Thank you so much for the update. There was one comment in the chat where somebody said to hear, were these homes open to children outside Toronto area? Deanna, I think you just want to confirm that we serve. Go ahead.
Yeah, so primarily serving children from Toronto. However, in some cases where children were placed outside of Toronto, we had repatriated kids back to the city in these locations. So, but they were specifically providing support to individuals living within the city of Toronto, yes.
Thank you so much, Deanna. We look forward to hear more updates on the great things that are happening ahead in relation to the therapeutic respite model. Thank you so much for that.
Thanks for having me.
For the next segment of our community unplugged, I'm going to invite Angela Bradley, our Senior Director, Social Enterprise and Philanthropy, to introduce our guest for this segment. So I'm going to hand over this segment to Angela and to introduce our guest. Over to you, Angela.
Thanks so much, Patty, and hello, everybody. I feel like it's been a while, and I was just lamenting on the weekend that somebody delivered me a late holiday basket, and just when I thought I was over I'm going to consume chocolate and nuts for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the cycle began again. So for those of you who have survived the chocolate season, congratulations. I'm still in it. I'm not really complaining, but I am still in it. Anyways, thank you so much for having me today, and happy January 28th. I heard somebody say the other day there was only 7 more Sundays till spring. Feels a little more bite-sized than the 1,000 days that January actually is, 1,000 days long. I have the pleasure today of doing the Community Unplugged chat with Janina, and I can't see Janina on here. I'm not sure why. There you are. Perfect. Okay. Hi, Janina. Thanks so much for joining us here today. And the theme of the Unplugged today is we're going to talk about membership, and we're going to talk about our community councils. So if you're okay, Janina, I just want to give people a little bit of background in case they're unaware of what we're going to dive into here today. Is that okay? Perfect. And you are on mute. So if you want to chime in, we're going to need you to press that button, or Artem or Manal can unmute you there. So I like to start this out with talking about the Spirit of 48. It's a little nickname I gave to the movement when I came to Community Living Toronto. And 1948, as most of you know, is when we were founded. It's our grassroots beginning. And we weren't the very first community living, but in 1948, we have a pretty cool story. We're founded in a church basement by a grandmother, Victoria Glover, again, the Spirit of 48, where she wrote to the Toronto Star in frustration and said that there must be more families that are going through through what her and her family were going through, and their grandchild was at home with them, and they're really looking for community-based programming, and there was nothing for their grandchild to attend. I loved when you were talking, Deanna, about connecting back with the community and getting individuals back with their families and repatriating to Toronto and those kinds of things. It really goes back to our roots of 1948, when we were really all about making sure that people with an intellectual disability had the right to live, learn, work, and play in the communities where their families and friends were. And so it's nice to hear some of those stories where we are getting back to those things. And of course, that's my 2-second version of the spirit of 48, but it really leads into what it means to be a member. And Janina's run to answer the door, maybe an Amazon delivery or lunch. So I'll just keep going. But that's really where our grassroots began. And really, that's what membership is. And we built our membership along those same lines. It was parents and individuals who wanted, family members, community leaders who were like-minded and wanted community living to be possible. So you fast forward a few years and we're incorporated, the city's getting bigger, our membership is growing, our programs are expanding. I'm just going to keep talking too, because I really think that Janina can't talk by the looks of what's happening on the screen right now. And we had a formal board of directors now at this point, and then we started to expand, and we wanted to maintain that local connection. I'm always amazed when you talk to people and you say, "Hey, where are you from?" And I always say Toronto. I live in central part of Toronto. I live downtown. But you'll hear people say, "Oh, I live in Etobicoke. I'll live in Scarborough." And for people who aren't from Canada, they're often like, "I don't understand. Is it Toronto or is it 4 different cities?" And it depends on who you talk to. But it was really important to us that we were able to keep that really local community grassroots connections. And that's when our community councils really were born. And there are local grassroots hubs for Community Living Toronto, and our members help guide, influence, and enhance Community Living Toronto's presence in their communities. I didn't plan on talking this much about that, but I'm just going to keep going.
So you can take a break, Angela. I'm going to ask Melanie to do the presentation whilst they are sorting out some technical issues in the background. Is that okay?
Absolutely. If everybody's okay, I'll just keep my momentum for later.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that brief background. It was very helpful. It sets the stage for the next segment. So for now, our sincere apologies. We are having some technical issues. We are trying to fix that. We'll get back to our community unplugged segment very soon. But in the meantime, I would like to invite Melanie Hooker to give an update on community participation, supports, and respect. So Melanie, would you mind to take over, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Petronella. So in the spirit of community and celebrating all that is CPS and respite, can we move on to the next slide, please? So we attended, a lot of the CPS artists attended Community Rocks, which was a phenomenal event, as many people here can probably attest to, but also for the CPS artists who were able to celebrate selling their work. We had sold over 27 paintings and cards during the evening, and they all had a phenomenal time meeting some of the Community Rocks people, and also just celebrating and being a part of that event was just an amazing experience. One of the individuals here, you can see her proudly displayed with her little dog painting. She purchased one of the large paintings, and she actually commissioned Conrad to do another painting for her as well, which I'll show later on. I'd like to also introduce you to Ashley Smith, who is with Conrad in the middle photo, and she is the new social club facilitator at the Creative Village Studio. And then here's Conrad painting that commission piece of work, which you will see the finished work later on. Next slide, please. So it's always a good time to dance, and we love to dance in CPS and respite.
To exit when I need to go back on?
Yeah. Okay, no, So when we come together at the mix, it is truly a celebration, especially when we have one of our favorite instructors, Tammy, who gets us in the groove. So we host 2 mixes every month. One happens out of our Fairfax location, and one happens at the Community Junction. And then the most recent ones are coming up in January 30th at Fairfax, And then the next one will be February 14th at the Junction. You'll see here the dancing, but also one of our SIL folks who attends the mix chose to dress up as Santa just to be part of the festive season, Michael. So that's kind of cool. Next slide. So oftentimes what we do is go into the community to connect with our community helpers. In this case, we brought our local fire department in-house for our Junction folks to learn about fire safety. So Officer Mike taught the individuals what to expect in the case of a fire, what equipment they should have in their homes, like fire detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and then who to call for immediate help. So we learned a lot and expanded our knowledge in terms of fire safety at home, but also in the community. Next slide. So learning about Indigenous culture is an important framework for teaching. We try to implement it into a lot of our program planning. So this experience going to City Hall gave people a real opportunity to kind of engage with the creation story, but also with some of the Indigenous works. So really enhanced their knowledge, but also was a great opportunity to get into the community and to be a part of the Truth and Reconciliation Fest. Next slide. So trekking around Toronto. So particularly, we have excursions that happen on Fridays around Toronto. And we also have what's called the community scavenger hunt. And those are both popular outings. They happen every session and they're offered by the Junction. So one of the groups you can see here visited Little Canada. It was a wonderful way to learn about Canada and visually see our great country. So they're in miniature form. It's spectacular. If you haven't been, I would highly recommend. And then our community scavenger hunt is a great opportunity. It's a lot of fun, actually, where they explore their community. And it was a one-off and people loved it so much. We've repeated it. And so one of the things they look for is their community experiences. So one of the things that they did discover was their Annette Street branch, which was an amazing opportunity. And also the library is free and it's local. Next slide. So what a way to celebrate and culminate all that CPS and Respite had to offer in 12 months of CPS and Respite. So I'm sure many of you don't know that we have very talented folks within our CPS and Respite leadership. Our senior leader, Heather, don't get embarrassed, wrote these words to accentuate some of our celebrations and successes over 2025. I won't sing it, although the brave leadership team, we did perform this song during our potluck in December using the 12 Days of Christmas. And if you are so inclined, we do have a video of this musical production. So let us know if you really want to take a look at it. Some of the things that just to take note of. So some things that we accomplished. So we talked about our annual potluck, which was we had for the first time in December. Just Community Rocks artists, fundraising, Passport joining our team, some retirements with Yasmin and also with Lawson. McMillan finally was licensed, making milestones with vacancy management. And then, of course, over the summer themed weeks, exploring community. We had lots of barbecues, and we will again, cakes aplenty. And then we also had the Serengeti Bush Party at the Toronto Zoo. Kwame's brand new home, so he was in the safe bed and moved to Roundwood. And then some bracelets that were made by some of the CPS programs. And then the clubhouse, food bank. And then we had a festival at the Mix celebrating love and diversity by the Pride Collective. And then our CVS locations expanded to 3. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold too, and my voice is kind of fading. Next slide. So anyways, as I said, you can see that if you really want to, we have a tape version of that. I was singing to that. So the next thing I wanted to bring, so I don't know who has been to the Junction, but one of the things about the Junction is we have these beautiful windows. And what we do is we tend to participate with the Junction BIA, whatever the theme is for the season. And so they had a winter theme. And so they asked us to decorate the window in, to be a part of the window displays. So it doesn't really do it justice, but there was beautiful snow and snowflakes and beautiful art that was done by the artists. So it was really a time to kind of celebrate what the artists were doing, but also to be a part of the community, the local community, and celebrate that work. And here I promised you would see Lauren with her commission picture. which was done by Conrad, and she had him commissioned to do those little dash hounds. So really good full circle picture. And that is Lauren and her friend. And Michael was not the artist, but he is a poser, so he's in the picture. Next slide. Oh, sorry, one other thing, sorry, thanks, Manal. So we also will be participating in the Contact Photography Festival in May. So we've done that a few times. We'll do a window display, but this time we're featuring our artists. So we'll be featuring their artwork as well as photos of the artists and some bios. So that we'll be celebrating them in a different way, but it will be part of the Contact Photography Festival, which will be a part of the greater TO Festival. Sorry, next slide. And then our Sibley Adult Respite offers a short breakaway for parents and caregivers. We do offer days during the week and weekend overnight support. Activities that are chosen by people we support, we try to make engaging and interactive. Of course, it's based on what individuals are asking. And we offer a combination of in-house and community activities if the snow doesn't affect our outings, because as we know, there's been a lot of snow in January. In addition to the many activities, some of the other things that they choose to do or to learn about baking and cooking and food prep, and then even cleaning, because that's a part of all that we do with the cooking and cleaning. And so we try to, encourage people to tell us what they want, and we program plan accordingly. There's just some pictures of some of our guys doing all of that. Next slide. Here's a picture of our Fosters Connection group. So they really got into the community spirit by truly giving back to their community. So they had a donation box, which you'll see in the bottom corner, where they collected food contributions. And then once they had enough of those, they went and donated them to, I think it's Calvary Baptist Church, which is around the corner in their community. And they were able to bring those proudly over to the church to donate to the food bank. And the staff also dressed up got into the festive spirit and dressed up in costumes with all the individuals. So they really, really had a really amazing, memorable experience. Next slide, Manal. And what our the East Mall had the opportunity to welcome Kat. So Kat is a community member who has a child with a disability and is really passionate about serving her community in both disability and culture. So she came into the East Mall to make babka, which is a traditional bread served during Hanukkah. And what was great about this is, excuse me, each person was able to bring home a loaf of bread along with a recipe, and then was able to share these stories with their family, caregivers, and loved ones. So win-win. Next slide. And if you still want to register, we do have some spots available in our satellite programs, in our fee-for-service offerings at the Community Junction, more in our satellite locations. The mix, as I said, we have one coming up January 30th, which is this Friday, if anyone's interested. We also have our Valentine's dance coming up at the Junction as well, February 11th. And then we also have a new offering called the Dinner Club that's offered out of Fairfax. This is where people can kind of come together. And if they want to cook, they can cook. If they just want to socialize, they can socialize, but it's a good time overall. And it's led by someone that is from Dickey's Cooking School. So it's been very popular. So don't wait to register. Next slide. And Children's Respite March break camps are being offered at McMillan and Ennerdale. There's still spots available for Shadow Lake March break camp for first timers. So if you are interested, you can reach out and contact us. We're also offering a Sibley Adult Respite Camp, March break camp, for those that are in high school. And another offering that will be coming up. So stay tuned, because I know this was a really popular event last year. And unfortunately, the weather didn't really cooperate with us because it was raining. But this year, we're going to try it again. We booked it into June, like later into June. So we're going to be putting it out for Toronto Serengeti Bush Camp again. So it's sometime in June, mid-June to late June. So it will be returning, so stay tuned for details for those who want to register. Next slide, Anna. And as usual, if you need to reach out to us and you want any information about CPS and respite, you can contact us at cps@cltoronto.ca, or you can call us at 647-729-2976. Or if you're just curious about what we have to offer, you can certainly go onto our website at www.cpsandrespite.ca. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melanie, for sharing those amazing activities and also what's in store. And as Melanie said, don't wait to register. Please do register. I can only imagine what happened at that Serengeti Bush Party, Melanie, and we look forward to hearing more. And personally, I'm going to follow up with you because I would like to see that video production. So thanks so much for sharing your updates. And now I would like to go back to our community unplugged segment. So Angela, I'm going to call you back so you can reintroduce our guest. I believe the technical issues have been resolved now. So our sincere apologies and back to you.
But you're lucky because I was looking for some sort of puppet or something. This is my sparkly poo pencil. So it was about to come out and be my new best friend. It's like at the sock, if anybody's old enough to remember that. But Janina, you're back.
I'm back.
I was so excited. I thought, but I have to say, when you jumped up, I got so excited that maybe you were having like a fabulous Uber Eats lunch or an Amazon packaging, and we were going to have like an unboxing sort of activity, because I like watching those on YouTube late at night, the blind bags. And...
I tell you, I need Terry here to help me coordinate this, like, oh gosh.
I had to register for a technology site the other day, and the woman was giving me the brochure, and she said, just follow the steps here. And she goes, and if you have problems, there's an email and there's a phone number. She goes, or ask a 5-year-old to help you. And I went, wow. But you know what? She might not be wrong. So but you know what? Teams can be challenging. Yeah. I find that it updates and changes all the time, but we're happy. We're thrilled to have you back. I had the pleasure.
Sorry.
No apologies. I was entertaining as I could be, and then we jumped over to Melanie, and now we're back. So thanks so much. I had the pleasure of reconnecting with Janina the other day. We did a phone call just to catch up before we were doing this. And to Melanie's point, you were mentioning some of the great activities. I was out at the East Mall last week, and people know that I've shared some of my Indigenous heritage, and I was able to do a 4 sacred medicines. Then we shared in some Three Sisters soup with the small folks at the CPS, and it was really just a lovely day. And I love getting out to our CPS programs. And I know also left over from Community Rocks, we've been sharing lots of chips and snacks with the various programs. So we're always trying to pay it forward. But Janina, so I talked about the spirit of 1948 and lots of other things that you probably were ignoring while you were trying to fix your technology. And I know you haven't been around since 1948, and I haven't been around since 1948. But we do have 4 community councils now. We have North York, Scarborough, Central, and Etobicoke York Community Council. I always have to remember to put the York in there. I know that's important. Not exactly sure why, but I know it's important. And you are currently the chair of that council, right?
Correct. Yes, just recently. It's a great council. They're a wonderful bunch of individuals that are on council. They're very friendly, supportive. Yeah. So it's been great. I've been a part of council for a while, though.
That was going to be my next question. So how long have you been involved with the council? How long have you been a member of Community Living Toronto first?
A member. 25 years.
You know what? That's almost the same amount of time that I've been employed at Community Living Toronto.
Maybe 24, 23. Yeah. Around there.
Yeah, about that. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And your daughter, Terry, attends the East Mall CPS?
Yes, she is. Yes, she's been there for 20 some odd years. She loves it. She's there enjoying all the different activities that are going on and so forth. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So you remember lots of changes in the Etobicoke area.
Do.
So Terry did she attend Judson before
Correct.
Yeah.
She was at Judson. She was there like it was great because it was a 5-day-a-week event for her. She loved it.
Yeah.
They did so many different activities, different things, outings, even some going out into the community and volunteering in some placements and things like that. So it was really quite the place for her to be.
Yeah.
And then, our COVID came along and we bought a new building that got renovated. I say we, I mean community living. Um,
I vision you with a hard hat and a hammer.
Do you? Yeah. So and things change, there are different things with the government, different parts, but it's still there, still very lively.
Yeah.
It's great. They have different guests come in like yourself who brought the 3 bean soup, which I was so upset that I didn't get to be there. 3 sister soup, rather.
I'll do it again. I've made a promise to come to council when the weather's a bit better, and we'll
Yes.
reenact.
Yes, I can't wait. We'll bring you out to council, like when the weather's a bit better and, can get out and do more. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. So you've been a member for over, let's go with 24 years. And then did you join council right away, or was that something that evolved over time?
I want to think it involved over time. I was kind of on and off. I kind of was in it, not in it type of thing. But as time went on, I found it more important to be a part of it, be involved, support it, do what we can. Yeah. And, just the camaraderie with the council members is amazing. I mean, they welcome you very openly. That you have a question, anything, they're there to help support.
Yeah.
But they do a lot of other work. They try and help fund some programs maybe for other
that's
individuals.
great.
Yeah. They try and start new programs. Maybe we do a Saturday dance every few months out there. Once we had a drama program as well going. And, we like to try and bring in the young group too of individuals because it's really their future as well.
Yeah, I've been to some of the Saturday dances that are sponsored by the council, the community council, and they are a ton of fun. If you haven't signed up or you haven't joined any of those, you really should. I was telling a story when we were chatting the other day about a young lady who she uses a walker, and she came in and about 5 minutes into the dance, she had pushed her walker away, and my husband was there taking photos, and needless to say, he was not taking photos because he was dancing with her, and I took photos on my phone and sent them to her mom actually and said, "Walker schmocker." She was just dancing away on the dance floor, and it was wonderful. They even had Brad up dancing actually the time I came, and he's not here, so I can tease him about his dance skills. I did not. But the nice thing that I've always found about the community councils is that, as Toronto gets arguably bigger, whether that's geographically or just people, it's really important to stay connected with those local grassroots communities. And sometimes it does feel like Etobicoke York is a million miles away from Scarborough. So why is it so important to you as a family member that lives in that area to have a community council in your neighborhood?
Kind of like you said, I feel we're sort of out in the West End here type of thing, but we're a strong council. We support, like I say, a lot of things. We try and have more parents join us, which we would love. We need more ideas, new things to come on board. We're not segregated by any means, but we really would like to open it to a broader amount of members if we can, to come on in, to share their ideas, share different things, maybe what's going on in different areas of the city,
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So if I became a member of Etobicoke Council, which I live in Central Region, so that would they'd probably try to recruit me to the Central Community Council. But if I decided to join, what might that look like for me? What's my commitment? What are you going to make me do?
Oh, well. First of all, I'm not going to make you do anything.
Perfect. Sign me
Yeah,
up.
no, come on board. Call the office there. Just say I'd like to be part of council. Call Tom Casper and say I'd like to become a member or join or sit in on a council meeting, see what it's all about, and he'll set you up and so forth.
Great.
We
Look at
host,
Tom just
yeah,
dropped it
we
in the
host
chat there
monthly
for us, too.
webinars. We have different things going on. We have guest speakers. Just come on out. Come on out. Attend the meeting. We're virtual right now, so but hopefully in nicer weather we'll get out there again. Yeah, just try and connect. I think you'll find that it's a great thing to come out to be a part of. You
I
learn a
love it.
lot of things. Ideas from other parents. Yeah, it's great to be a part of. That's all I can really say.
Now, you mentioned that you're virtual. So from what I understand is that you do a few virtual and then a couple in person a year so that it's accessible to everybody?
Correct.
Awesome.
Some people may not be able to come out personally, but love to be involved and be in touch. So we can do a bit of both. Actually, even if we're in person, we can still do a virtual, have somebody else come in, which is a great thing as well. Yeah, in the winter months, it's a lot harder to always be getting out, and maybe not always the support of our individuals as well. We may not have that. So virtual works out very well for a lot more people. So I think also it's nice to come out to see each other, to be personable, have a cookie, a coffee, whatever, and just get to really meet one another, in person.
Yeah, and I think your next in-person meeting is going to be the one that I come to.
I hope so. I hope you
Excellent,
can come out. That'll
excellent.
be great. Looking forward
Well,
to the soup.
Exactly. So it's Three Sisters soup, and I'll even find the energy to make some bannock, and it'll be a lot
Ooh.
of fun. We'll have to make sure that we tell everybody so they can come, and
Yeah.
I can meet people in person too. It'll be a
Yes,
lot of fun.
yes.
Your community engagement coordinator in Etobicoke is Tom Gaspar. He's been
Correct.
diligently throwing things in the chat for us.
Yeah, he's
And
amazing. He is amazing.
Tom is really amazing, and he's a lot of fun. I see people
He
writing in the chat that they're enjoying our banter, which,
Yeah.
I mean, if you met Janina and I in person, wow, we could just go like this. We were on the phone the other day for, I think, an hour and a half, and it was
Yep.
felt like 5 minutes. But Tom has a lot of energy and brings a lot of great ideas and support. He's held a lot of different positions in the organization. And the nice thing about the community engagement coordinators is that they can often be a resource to answer questions for families. If you're looking for some information, you're looking to connect. And if you're looking to attend some of the amazing webinars and the resource groups that they have, the family support groups that happen, there's moms retreats, there's dads groups, there's all kinds of things that you can connect with. And Tom is great to be able to connect you with those opportunities. One of the things we keep talking about here, Janina, that sometimes gets confusing for folks is that we're talking about the council, but then we're also talking about being a member. And then we talk about the people we support. So one point that's important to clarify is that to be in services with us, you don't have to be a member. That's a person in service or people we support. But lots of our families and our extended families and friends and stuff, they choose to become a member of Community Living Toronto. And that's often your first step before you join a community council, is becoming a member first and dipping your toe in the water. Anybody over the age of 18, you make a donation, a meaningful donation for yourself. It could be a toonie, it could be anything, and you can become a member of Community Living Toronto. We have over 500 members at Community Living Toronto. We used to, at our peak, we were in the thousands. And we were talking about that the other day, and that it's kind of interesting when you have a movement and you have a membership organization, and how for a long time the movement for community living was about closing the institutions. And now that we've closed them, we're kind of reinventing what it means to be a member. and the value that you get out of membership. And I've heard that you guys have gotten a few new council members recently and some new members out in Etobicoke. What do you think was the thing that was the hook that got them involved? Just because you're fun?
We are fun. We're lots of
Perfect.
fun. I mean, we're lots of fun. That's what it's about. I mean, no, we
Yep.
have serious business we take care of, but we're fun. We're fun. Absolutely.
Excellent.
I think just talking about it, I talked to a lot of people about it as well. A couple of parents or people I've met in different, like we did the Thanksgiving dinner meal, things like that, talking to some parents and people, you know, we talk about it all the time. We share it a lot. I'm sure all of us council members share it out there. Hey, come on out and see what council's all about, become a member, you know. So just really talking about it, trying to express all the good we do and what we can do to help our individuals a lot more. And yeah.
That's great. And sometimes I know that the membership and the councils get quite involved with advocacy in different campaigns, whether we're trying to find more opportunities for employment, whether we're talking about our 75th anniversary campaign was all about belonging, and where people with an intellectual disability should always be at the table and always represented in society. And I think our membership really plays a big role in that. And right now there's I can't remember the hashtag in front of me. Maybe Artem or Manal will remember, throw it in the chat. The big province-wide campaign right now, advocating for additional funding. And you know, you mentioned earlier about when Terry was attending Judson and the 5-day-a-week all-day programming and how things have changed. And as Melanie was talking about the changes to CPS, and it's change is hard. Lots of amazing opportunity, but you know, not without its challenges. And
yeah, that's everything. Yeah, it's like everything today. I think it doesn't matter where it's at, but I have to admit, at first it was hard. It was the changes were like, whoa, you know, we went from our program to a COVID lockdown to this whole new opening. But as time goes on, I think there's more value in some of the programs we're doing now for them than maybe there was before. We're more in the community, we're more out and about. Yeah, I think it's a great thing.
Absolutely.
Change is hard,
I agree.
no question.
I agree.
But it's
I agree.
there.
Change is definitely hard, but I have to say, hearing about all the amazing stuff that's happening is just,
Yeah.
and seeing the folks that I saw last week that I hadn't seen in a long time, and it was a lot of fun. It was really a lot of fun to hang out and share that day with everybody. So, in all your years on council, what do you think is one of your most proud moments that you have achieved? I know what I'd say. What do you think is your most proud moment as a council representative? Putting you on the spot. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Time
she
for
did.
time for the
I
phone
think
to ring.
for me, down the road in the past, I was fundraising. I love to fundraise. I like to do all kinds of different fundraisers, try to bring some money in to help, you know, do other programs, maybe a program that isn't able to run right now, cover the cost for other individuals who cannot afford to do certain things, you know, and so forth. So fundraising was always my biggest thing, I think.
Absolutely. I was going to say that as well. And also, I would say that you could almost be like the mayor of Etobicoke, because you're always out there. We don't have to have a mayor of Etobicoke, which is good. But you're always out there advocating and talking us up. I mean, even in our call the other day, you're like, hey, I ran into some folks from the Knights of Columbus and I ran into some folks over here. And you're always such an amazing champion for people with an intellectual disability and for Community Living Toronto. Even when we've changed our name, how many times since you've been a member?
Oh gosh, I couldn't tell you. Let's be honest. Yep, no.
But you always get it right. I'm impressed.
I'm impressed too. I think after a while it just sinks in and it's like, what, a new one? Okay, give me at least a month, But yeah, no, I like to go out there and share a lot about the organization and how many wonderful things that they have and they can offer and what they can do for families and different things. Yeah, I speak highly of it. I like to try and encourage other family members to come and see it, get involved, because it's not all about hard work. It's about just meeting, being a part of, having supports, having somebody to talk to when you need something, maybe, and so forth. So yeah, I like to go out there and talk and do a little bit of fundraising. But that's just me. I like the fundraising.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's so great when you're out there talking about our, the work that we do and the people we support and your passions and that as well, because it's contagious, that's for sure. And it's wonderful that you're out there doing that. So in the upcoming year, I know you folks have done some planning, and in your new role as the chair, do you have a big hairy goal for your role as chair of the council? How long do they make you commit to, first of all? What's your sentence?
I don't think you have to have a certain amount of time. I don't think you have a certain amount of time, but it's we'll see.
Awesome. Great. Well, we'll keep you as long as we can.
Oh, yeah.
But do you have a big hairy goal, something that you hope to see during your term or in the next year?
I hope that we get to see more people on council, younger families, ideas, just a lot of things like that. That would be really, really nice. Get the word out more. Yeah.
For sure. That's great. And what if everybody on this call I don't even know how many people are here. If everybody on this call today was to do one thing to help the community councils or to help membership at Community Living Toronto, what's that one thing that they could do?
Oh, there's probably lots. I don't know if I can come up with one thing.
Well, you could list them all and then Patty will cut us off eventually. It's fine.
One thing, I think, just be there, support, help, be an advocate, be out there talking, sharing. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I'm going to put a challenge out to folks is become a member.
Yes.
You can even become a non-voting member, your friends and family. You can do you can have households. And when you become a member, it's not that we don't share all of our information with folks, but it's kind of like becoming a part of a little club. You're helping us with, we get to say to government, we get to say to corporations, we've got this many members who feel this strongly about the work that we do, and that they support us and they're advocating. It gets you, you'll get a regular e-blast from us where there's tons of great resources that go out. You'll find out when new programs are opening up pretty fast, when there's new signups opportunities and that sort of thing. And then all those really amazing things that are happening, that the councils are sponsoring. You'll hear about them, and an opportunity if you're looking for volunteer opportunities for your kids. They want to come and serve up some popcorn, or volunteer at one of the dances. They got to get their community hours. Or maybe your work group's looking for a volunteer opportunity, reach out, because there's all kinds of great things that you can do with Community Living Toronto, either on a council or not. But the first step is becoming a member, and then we'll communicate with you regularly, and you'll be part of our family.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, try and get out there, become a member. So important, I think. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I think we're getting close to time here. Is there anything else, any words of wisdom, Janina, as a longtime member that you'd like to say to me or to our 59 or so folks that have joined us on this call today? Again, I'm putting you on the spot.
I think I want to say thanks to Community Living for the support, the help, their guidance, everything over the time, and especially to my council members. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And thank you, Janina. You have been a warrior. You've been a champion. You've been an advocate. You've been a friend. And we just can't say thank you enough.
Thank you very much.
All right. And over to you, Patty, I think.
Thanks.
Indeed, we can't say thank you enough. Many thanks, Janine and Angela, for that great conversation and for shining a spotlight for our community councils. We appreciate all the time that you put in that. And I see the team has put quite a lot of information in the chat about how to join, how to become a member. So indeed, we hope your goal of wanting to have more people in the councils to come and share ideas will definitely take place. Together, we can do that. So thank you so much for taking the time to be with us and to your patience as well as you sorted out some of the technical issues. So thank you so much. So thank you for that, Angela. It really kept everything working as well. And on that note, we just want to say special thanks to all our presenters. It was a pleasure to have you with us today and to hear all the updates that are happening across the organization. And a special thank you again to Janina and Angela for joining us this afternoon. Our next Family and Friends update will take place in April. We'll share registration details closer to the date. And as we close today's session, I want to highlight that February is Black History Month and Inclusive Education Month. Together, they remind us to honor the contributions and resilience of Black communities and to recognize the importance of inclusive learning environments where everyone can grow, contribute, and thrive. Let us carry this forward and this awareness forward by celebrating diversity, raising awareness, and strengthening our commitment to equity and belonging in all that we do. We also encourage everyone to listen, watch, and subscribe to our Community Chance podcast. The episodes are released on the 15th and 30th of each month, where we continue to bring stories and insights from our community. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and have a great day, everyone. Thank you.